Hey you guys, welcome back to another episode of Resilient with your host, me, Wintertooth100. I am here today with JoMomma. That's right, not your mom, but my mom. This is my mom. No, this is Hey, wait, Yuki, I'm doing an episode. My stream is over. Yes, I just finished the stream. Joe and I have been trying to work out how to do a tileable railroad. And so that's kind of what we're working on right now. Let's change my view over and put my helmet back on. So we have this idea, Joe and I, where these different versions are going to be used in the different biomes. So for example, right now we are in a spruce or a taiga. Technically I think these are called taigas. So as the railroad comes through here, it'll be dominantly, as materials are available, it'll be dominantly made out of the spruce logs and the spruce wood. And as we move into, like, say, there's an extreme hills biome just over in that direction a little bit, it will be made out of like cobblestone or maybe smooth stone or use stone bricks, something that we can use. And we're just kind of working out ideas for what these things are going to look like. What do you think, Joe? Is this looking good?
What the cobble reminds me of is like if we were going to go into the jungle.
Ooh.
Place for it to be used.
We could use mossy with that too. We can make mossy now.
Yeah, that would look tight. That would look really tight.
Oh, that'd be so cool. Because isn't one of the newts in the jungle?
Yeah.
Oh yes, we have to go through the jungle. I like that. So what if we did like stone bricks? Stone bricks for the extreme hills then.
Yep. And we can use cracked, because can't you like throw them into a fire or something and crack them?
Oh, you totally can.
Oh, there's ways we can accent it.
That's really nice. I like that. So the idea behind these is that we can build these rails and connect everyone on the server, and then as players are building and expanding in their area, if they decide that, say that, for example, this is my area right here. If I decide that this rail is now in the way, they are supposed to be simple enough that I could actually tear it down and reroute this system without much difficulty. That's how easy we want them to be to build, is to be able to have the freedom to move your rail if you decide it's just in the way.
And again, like I said, like your island is over there, so we could always, as it approaches your island, well, here with anything you might want to build, so then we just take a 45 into the ground, whatever depth. Obviously we'd have to clear the water, but works out well for you. We go down that deep, and basically it's a subway station.
Oh yeah, we could totally do some kind of subway. We could also we'll have to conquer the Guardian farm. There's actually one not too far from here, and get some sponge.
Really? Yeah. Okay. Oh, and we could do the glass tunnels too. So yeah, I'm kind of liking that.
All right, so I brought some stone brick. Right now we're just kind of putting each tile next to each other to get a kind of a feel for what they look like. 5. I have stone bricks, so this is kind of what the extreme hills would look like then, if that's the case. Oops, not in the center. On the sides. So that's the trickiest part, is to figure out how to build these in such a way that they still look good, but are simple enough that they can be built in all of the different types of materials. That's the challenge we're working with right now, is trying to get that particular thing.
Yeah, reproducible in quantities, but yet not look like, buttholes.
Alright, so I don't have enough oak wood to put the fence on this one, but Joe, come take a look at this. Am I being am I being just overly critical, or does having the fence on either side of the spruce definitely look a lot better than the oak not having the fence?
Concur. It just adds a little bit more detail, and this looks very basic.
Yeah, this almost looks flimsy to me.
Like, this looks nice and substantial. This looks pretty good. I threw some cracked stuff up there, by the way.
Oh, nice. Oh, I see it. That looks good. So that's what you're doing with the furnace. Bye, Shy.
See ya.
So, the next question is, how big are these tile branches going to be? Obviously, if this was all made out of spruce, we wouldn't probably have one of these beam pillars every 5 blocks apart.
I'm assuming...
Seems a bit excessive.
Yeah, this is just a good demonstration model here. I'm thinking each of these... this is a good size. It's just that now they would probably be...
They'd be more spaced apart.
I'm thinking 30 apart.
So you're thinking every time we do one of the rails up top, that's when we would actually include a beam?
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, let's
It's
try
too
it
far. You know, this is going to use a lot. If we use logs like this, it's going to use a lot of materials.
So if that's the case, then that means this is going to come out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In fact, let's not count on camera because that's silly. Obviously, this isn't going to be perfectly to scale. I just want to see the beam distance. So this would roughly be the distance between beams if we go the full 30. Yeah, it definitely works. I could see for when we make rounded corners using more frequently these beams to make that curve look better, but yeah, this doesn't look too bad.
Yeah, we would have to just at least give the impression of a rounded corner, you know, like it does this, and then it does whether a 90-degree turn immediately after another pylon. So you're talking like, let's say it was going to turn, the actual turn happened here, and like a pylon here. Something.
Oh, Joe, we're gonna have to bump up some building skills for you because I have a totally different idea.
I am.
Are you prepared to learn?
Educate me.
So, I was thinking we go a little bit more hardcore with it. Give it a much more rounded look.
That is that going to be like a turn in the track?
Yes. So we'd have to. The tricky bit is getting them to mirror each other in a way that feels natural, and also in a way that is feasible. Like, obviously, if we want to have this work, these have to be bumped up, right? Because they have to zigzag, because they don't have true curves to them. So really, understanding what makes the roundness of like a circle in this game is the key. But like, really, I think I nailed it.
It's pretty close. Which yeah, again, that would work. Like basically a bitmapped type circle. Like what does Pac-Man look like in the old games?
Yes, exactly. That's basically how this game breaks down to with circles. Is they're all squares, and all these squares make a circle. You have to be very careful. Like, obviously, if you build a big straight line this way and then you build a big straight line that way, putting a corner on it then will be very hard. If I built one of these tileable things going this way, and then without adding the curve, I built a tileable thing going this way, adding that curve now will be really difficult.
Oh, I see.
So that's the only thing. If we decide we want to use some kind of fancy curvage, you build your straight line, then you have to build your curve before you build the next straight line, so you know where it starts.
Now, when you're talking tiling, are you talking like doing it in World Edit or something, or
no? I just mean like I want it to be simple enough that I'm gonna use Yuki as the example. If she walks over here and looks at this, all she has to know is this core 5 wide, 5 tall section, and then after that it's just copy paste in the game, right? Like, oh, yeah. I see what this is made out of. Let me grab a bunch of cobblestone and I can make my own. Then by that same token, like maybe they love the design so much that they want to use it themselves, and in their little city they build their own rail system in the same design. For
sure. That works.
But I think that's the key, though, is to make it simple enough that if for example I ran it right through the middle of your place and you're like, oh, I need the middle of my place to do stuff, you can just look at it and know how to build it, and then you can just build it, you know, where you want your rail to be.
hit with some XP. That must have been from that zombie or that drowned you killed.
Oh, it's taking these blocks forever.
Oh, you asked me. Mentioned in one of the videos was like where my name came from. Where it started when I first got into multiplayer gaming, which was 15, almost 20 years ago. I think it was a Delta Force. When I first started doing that, it was I was using just my last name, which seemed like, well, that's not very imaginative. I came up with something, whereas if they killed me, if you just screwed Joe Mama, you just got, or you just got killed by Joe Mama, Joe Mama just killed you. It's kind of started that way, and then
so you're a walking meme.
Like that. That was the meme at one time, and because as I started, gaming profiles with different like Minecraft and this and that and the other, I realized, no one else has done this, so I just kept it. Well, then some places I went, oh yeah, okay, they did, and so I just added my birth year at the end of it, so 73. So that's where that came from. People look at it like, well, it's kind of old to be doing this. It's like, nah, you gotta understand that people in my generation were playing Space Invaders and Pac-Man and Donkey Kong and 73, but I'm technically an 80s kid, so, and 80s was all about, it was the first generation of vidiots, so.
Die! Haha, killed him. Alright, well, I don't want to keep you too long. I think we got some good ideas for this. I'll let you mull it over. I'll wait for your next video and see what you decide upon. I'll leave all the design decisions up to you for this. Again, I figure if it's going to be your big project, I'll let you definitely take the lead. I'll be generous and give you, say, 2% of the power.
that works. Appreciate that, man. Good looking out.
No, I'm definitely gonna hand the reins over to you on this. I just wanted to, I thought maybe it'd be fun to do something together and kind of collab on something. I know we don't get many opportunities to do that, and this just sounded like an awesome opportunity to work with you a little bit.
Glad we were able to do this. This was awesome.
Me too. I can't wait to find out what you come up with at the.
Yeah.
Hopefully by your next episode you'll have something.
We'll see.
All right. Well, I won't keep you any longer.
And I will see you later. Have fun.
All right. See you later, Joe. So we just had some fun with Joe, and I just recorded this whole clip, but Mrs. Tooth has a dog. I don't like dogs, but he just could not stop barking for that entire last clip, and you might still hear him, but we're going to try to do my best to redo some stuff. Unfortunately, I already crafted these on camera, but he's barking in the background the whole time. But we crafted up 32 observers, 64 pistons, and I was talking about how much iron we've gotten from the iron farm so far, which is pretty great. But we're going to use these observers and these pistons. We're going to make us a melon pumpkin farm. And I was just going through my brain, racking my brain for all the parts we're going to need. We're going to need more redstone dust. I believe we're going to need one redstone dust per piston. And I don't think we need any more than that. Nope, I just thought about it for a few minutes. Pretty sure we don't need any more redstone than that. We do, however, need... We'll just use some of this. We won't need that many. We are going to need a hoe, an iron hoe, and I'm going to have to locate... Alright, had to cut that again. The dog was barking all over again. But... we need to find our pumpkins and melons. Melon seeds. I'm pretty sure we have melons and or melon seeds floating around here somewhere. And I know we have pumpkins. Here's some pumpkins. Even if we don't find any more. Ooh, there we go. Iron hoe. We can work on that achievement by working on that. Whittling it down. And melons. Perfect. Do I have any more pumpkins that'll make things go faster? I do not. But I do believe this is everything we are going to need. So we're going to head back over to the librarian section. Alright, we have made it over here next to our librarians. And it's over here we're going to set up the pumpkin melon farm. I've done some minor terraforming, so we have a nice flat space here. Well, let's just get started. It's quite easy. It's not my design, something I just found on the internet by typing in pumpkin melon farm. But basically we're just going to do a design like this, and the observer needs to go the other way. And that's basically it. That's the entire farm, if I'm being honest with you. We're gonna leave a space, we go piston, piston. So really, we just go piston every other block for a handful of blocks. I'm thinking we want to go 16 or 24, the length of waters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 23. That'll probably be the end of it, assuming the observers line up. So we're gonna skip every other block. That way we have a 3 chunk here. And we're going to do it for, oh my god, that's perfect. That worked out great. Now we're going to mirror it. So we're going to skip this side, and we're going to have the good shovel, the one that's not going to break on us. We're going to dig out a trench coming this way, and going all the way to the end, and then we're going to mirror it. We're going to do exactly the same thing with the observers. And now the real trick's going to be, we need a bucket of water, and we're going to put it in the top, and basically we want this one stream of water to go the entire length. So we're going to place it in, we're going to see how far it goes. Wherever it stops, which is right here, we're going to dig out the next trench. We're going to, that's the wrong shovel, that's what's going to result in us breaking it. Just get out of my hotbar, I do not want to lose you. We're just going to carve the rest of this out, and once we're all out, we're just going to break this block and see how far the water travels now. Wherever it stops, we're going to do the exact same thing. And bust that out and see how far the water goes. And this block right here will be where our hopper goes that collects it. So let's climb out of this hole. And we're going to use dirt for this farm because, you know, it doesn't really need anything else fancy. We really don't care about this looking super great, we just want it to function. So we're going to put any block behind the observers. And just for functionality's sake, we'll just run through how this works. We're going to till the land in front of each of the observers. And then we're going to plant on one side melons and the other side... Uh-oh, what's happening? There we go. And on the other side we're going to plant the pumpkins. See, the thing is these don't have water on them. We can actually remedy that. I think we might. We'll just bump out the observer and put water right beneath it. And then put the observer back. No problem. That will solve that problem for us. But the breakdown is these guys will grow, and there's only 2 available spaces they can either go. Right there or right there. But every time these guys grow... Oh, I knew this was going to happen. We're having some lag on the server because we got a new member and he is exploring. Every time these grow, the observers will jump out. And I lost my redstone. Alright, we have our redstone. Let's try that again. So, dot, dot, done. Do it for all of them, dot, 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 dot. Now, for demonstration's sake, we should see them move every time this thing grows. Alright. And that's as full as it grows. So when this thing finally grows and decides to well, this is melon, so whenever it decides which side it's going to put the melon on, this stem will bend and connect to it. That is an observable update, so as soon as that melon hits, these pistons will push it out. It is up to us to take our dirt blocks and just kind of fill this thing in. That way, when it pushes these, we have the greatest chance of these being pushed off here. So every space that's not going to be utilized for piston positions or where our melons will actually be growing, we want to make sure we have a block there. So let me finish this up and we'll get in as many rows as possible. Alright, they're not pretty, but they are functional and they do the job, and that's all I needed from them. So basically they're all the same. We got pumpkins on one side, melons on the other, and then same thing over here. We got pumpkins on one side, melons on the other. They just, oh, we heard it go off. One of them grows, and it'll set off the 2 pistons immediately next to it. And you see them shooting through. And they come back down to this little collection area where we can just collect them. I had to pop out a few of them with my Silk Touch axe to get them reactivated because they grew before I placed the observers, so that's why we have full melons in there at the moment. But yeah, that's basically it. We are going to AFK here for a little while. And oh, I need to put stairs right here too, that way when they shoot through they don't sometimes land on the chest. But we're going to AFK for a little bit here and try to collect a bunch of these, and I'm going to try to get at least 1 stack of emeralds. I have 2 tools that are dying to be repaired, so hopefully we can end this episode with me at the XP farm repairing them. So I'll see you in, say, let's do it about an hour here. Let's do an hour here. Alright, this episode is way out of time, so let's very quickly see how well we've done in, it's been 50 minutes, not quite an hour, but we're gonna leave this running overnight, so we're definitely gonna have 8 times as much as we're getting here, and that's actually not too bad. We can get a few trades in, but it won't be enough to get mending this episode, so we'll probably have it during the live stream, which at the time of this recording for me the live stream is tomorrow. So I'm going to stay here all night and keep going and do some trades, and I will see you guys in the live stream, or have saw you guys already in the live stream. In the meantime though, that's going to be it for this episode. We are definitely over time. I hope you guys liked the episode. Like if you liked, subscribe if you haven't, share with your friends, and I will see you in the next one.